Ndị Igbo ekene m unu. Asị m ka echiri ya zelu. Asịkwa m na n'Igbo ya dịka echi na-echi ada agwụ ọgwụ otu anyị kwuru otu akwa ya dịrị ise esi ndụ mmiri ndụ azụ mmiri atara m azụ anwụra. Anyị jụrụ na-ekene onye ọbụla niile. Ịbụ onye Edo, ịbụ onye Igala, ebe niile ụmụ Chineke gbara okirikiri anyị na-ekene unu niile na ịma ọnụ nne ya. Ezi ka ụbọchị nketa mara na anyị na mma. Dịka o si dị, o nwere ife anyị wetara n'iru akwụkwọ gbasịta maka ka anyị si kwuo unu nkwa na anyị ga-ewetara daily update bụ gbasịta maka ife unu kwesịrị ịma n'ihe na-eme n'obodo and nwere onwe ndị Igbo na-azụ. Ya bụ ife bụ Untold Truth ka anyị akpọ ya. Untold Truth Biafrans need to know. All the two session I get here n'ofu n'oge ugbu a ka unu gegodi ya bụ ife ka lapụ ikwu much about it. Mgbe ị geziri ya inyezie m ife ichere alụ nke gị ife ichere n'iru akwụkwọ gbasara maka ihe ndị anyị nọ. Alright, over to you, sir.
Whenever the Igbos in Nigeria want to talk about Biafra, whenever they want to talk about unifying all the Igbo-speaking people all over the world, people tend to tell them, mind your 5 states. Mind your 5 states. And that makes me laugh hysterically. That begs the question and left me wondering, what do you people even think a state is? Listen, a state is a political creation, a political territorial integrity that tends to separate families from families, that tends to separate brothers from brothers. That was why Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie in Half of a Yellow Sun said, I am a Nigerian because the white man created Nigeria and gave me that identity. I am black because the white man constructed black to be as different as possible from his white. But I am Igbo before the white man came. So how can you allow what is a political creation to determine your origin? And in case you don't know, it was on the 27th of May 1967 that Yakubu Gowon created 12 states out of the old eastern region. Why did he do that? When you read There Was a Country by Chinua Achebe, you will find out that Gowon did that simply because he wanted to landlock the Igbos. He wanted to weaken the strength of the old eastern region because he knew that the black gold, which is the crude oil, is one of the prime motivation of the Biafran secession from Nigeria. And so he wanted to crumble the Biafran strength. And because he noticed that the people that reside at the Delta area dread the core Igbo domination, and so he wanted to give them a sense of ownership, that these people are not your people, you are on your own. And they succeeded, because today brothers are denying brothers simply because they are not in the 5 so-called states they say where Igbos only belong. And I laugh, because you are a victim of gumbo diplomacy. You are a victim of Machiavellian manipulation. You are a victim of gumbo diplomacy, and such perception is Shibolite and antediluvian. I hope you get enlightened. And when you want to talk, people want to talk about South-South. What is South-South? South-South is a political creation, something that was created out of Machiavellian manipulation, a region that was created because of negative ethnicity. South-South was created in 1990. How will you allow what was created barely 28 years to determine your origin? What a pity. Listen, when Lord Lugard came to Nigeria, he met something. He met something, and that was why he tried to amalgamate what he met in 1914, the North and the Southern Protectorate. Use your head. Let me point history to you in case you want to learn. It was on the 7th of October 1949 that Germany divided into 2. You had the East and the Western Germany. Why? The Western Germany was in alliance with the United States of America, with Britain and France, and they wanted to be a capitalist state. And the East Germany was in alliance with Soviet Union, and they became a communist state. And because of that, Germany was divided into 2, the East and the West Germany, on the 7th of October 1949. But because they are Europeans and they knew their core origin, they worked constructively towards unifying Germany, and they achieved it. On the 3rd of October 1990, the wall that devastated Germany was brought down and Germany was unified at last. But I tell you for a fact, if Germany was to be in Africa, till date, you will still be having the East and the Western Germany, because I don't know why we have allowed the lies they told us to sink into us, hook, line, and sinker. Who did this to you? Who did this to you? Tomorrow, someone from Congo Brazzaville will say it's not related to someone from Democratic Republic of Congo or Sudan and South Sudan. How can you want to landlock a nation with just 5 states? That is unacceptable. If you can have Yoruba-speaking people in Togo and Igbo-speaking people in Cuba, how come you cannot have Igbo people in Rivers and Igbo people in Delta? You want to tell me the Igbos in Cuba are not Igbos? So, if you accept such lie, how do you want to live with it? Stop lying to yourself. I thought you would have learned by now. Because on the 7th of October, 1967, when the federal troops entered Asaba, the people of Asaba welcomed them and said, we are not Igbos. We are one Nigeria. What happened? How did the federal government respond? They buy over 800 to 700 people. Yet, you have not learned. You cannot be welcomed where you are not welcomed. I am not a promoter of negative ethnicity. I do not indulge myself in tribalism. But I have a conscious effort to make sure that people unify with their origin, irrespective of where you are in Africa. And for those of you in West Africa, God bless you. And those in all parts of Africa, God bless you. But the better and the earlier you start on learning what they forced you to learn, the better for you. In 1967, your state was created. On the 27th of May 1967 by Yakubu Gowon, 12 states. All of a sudden, you said the people that were previously in your states are no longer your brothers because of a political creation, because of a political engineering. State is not a divine creation. State is man-made. Use your head. Liberate yourself. Liberate yourself before it's too late, Africa. For wisdom, Africa. Wisdom. It's a principle thing.
Ndị be anyị kenekwanụ m unu. Unu anụgonu ka o si dị. Ama m na ịmụtara ife n'ife ị ga n'iru akwụkwọ anyị tinyere unu. Ọ bụ na ịmụtara ife ka efe ịmụtara n'ụdị nke gị, ka efe ịmụtara pụrụ iche n'ụdị nke gị. Gwa ya okwu na comment section below. Ọzọ dị ka ịbịa bụ mara na ya bụ Eastern News 24 ka esi were wetara onye bụ nnukwu ozi dị oke mkpa. Maka ebe ife na-eme, ige ntị n'ife nwanne anyị nwoke kwuru okwu maka the division. Politicians divide anyị by creating states. Anọgidezi asị na nwanne gị abụrụ ọzọ nwanne gị. Anọgidezi asị na ikwu gị abụrụ ọzọ ikwu gị. Akwa ị na-aghọta? Then check here. The so-called South and the Southeast bụ ụmụnne. Akwa ị na-aghọta? Mana politics and to get disorganized ya, the relationship anyị were ebe ụmụnne anyị nọ fa wee kewa anyị wee kewasị anyị ebe dị iche iche. Ebe ndị e nyere South okwu ụmụnne anyị ndị nọ na North East, think Benue and side Boko wee kewasị anyị ebe dị iche iche ka iwe tụsa anyị ka rapụzi ịchịkọta ọnụ. Mana ife nna-achọ ịgwa onye ọbụla na-esore n'uhuruchi nke taa n'iru akwụkwọ, no matter how division federal government na-etinye n'ebe anyị nọ, anyị ga-enwe mmeli. Anyị nche ine ya ana maka anyị naba ụmụnne anyị ga-eso anyị wee na. Ọ bụla eziokwu, anyị naba ụmụnne anyị ga-eso gị. Ị yarapụ nwanne gị n'ụzọ na ịnaba mba ụmụnne anyị ga-eso anyị wee na. Daalụ niile na ụmụnne m. Anyị ga-ewetakwara the part 2 of this. Anyị ga-ewetara part 2 ya. Stay tuned at Eastern News 24. N'ebe si na-ewetara ya bụ nnukwu ozi dị oke mkpa gbasara maka ihe na-eme n'obodo anyị nọ n'ime ya, anụ nwere onwe ndị Igbo n'azụ. daalụ nke mesị ụmụnne m.